Hello and welcome to another edition of Market Briefing. I'm Martin Bakkerdax, European business editor here at the IB Times UK. Well, we're looking at modest gains across the board for European stocks. They look to be snapping a three-day losing streak. They'll likely trim the weekly loss to around 1% across the benchmark while they do it. Britain's FTSE 100 is up about 30 points at the moment, modestly so, and there isn't really a great driving narrative. What investors are looking at more than anything is the better than anticipated trade data out of China. Exports up about 25%, imports as well surging 28.8% over the month of January. There were 5 extra working days in the month, and of course there's going to be New Year celebrations this month, so the numbers won't be consistent, but they do remind investors that the recovery path of the world's fastest growing and increasingly the most important economy in China is well on its way. Here in Europe, we're looking at developing news out of the European Union with respect to the budget agreement. It appears that a 960 billion euro ceiling has been reached. It will represent the first ever real-term cut in the 7-year spending commitments of the European Union and represents somewhat of a rare political victory for Prime Minister David Cameron. Now, it won't necessarily have a big impact on economic growth or indeed the financial markets, but nonetheless, it's one hurdle out of the way of the leadership as they continue to try and stoke growth around the biggest, let's not forget, economic bloc in the entire world. Now, another story we're looking at on the economy page is out of France. There is some confusion at the highest levels of French government as to whether or not they plan to take a stake in Europe's second largest car maker, PSA Peugeot. Now, Peugeot had to effectively book a 4.1 billion euro write-down earlier this morning, and there is some conflicting reports about whether or not the government is prepared to make a stake in the company in order to save French jobs. We had a budget minister say, yes, they were planning it, stock rose. Then we had the finance minister saying it's not on the agenda, and the stock tumbled. We'll try to keep an eye on it and keep you up to date on the developments as they move throughout the day. That's it for us for just the moment. Come back to the IB Times economy page for more developing stories. We'll see you on Monday.